Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with Todd Rowland with Alderac Entertainment Group, here with Guildhall. Tempest game number 5. So
actually, no. This is a non-Tempest line game. Yeah, Guildhall is set in the Dark Ages.
Mm-hmm.
You're basically opening up a medieval employment office, known as the Guildhall, and trying to get as many of the professions built as you can.
Okay. I saw the pig on the cover, and somehow it got me excited, so I guess I picked Tempest. I don't know.
Yeah, you know. Well, the pig we had fun with during the teaser time for the game. He was our little red herring to make people think.
I'm disappointed, though, that the description very clearly on the Geek says it's a one-pig town, and yet this gentleman has 2 pigs.
We lie.
That's how the town was ruined?
Yes.
Overrun. Those 2 pigs got together. The second one caused all the trouble.
Indeed. So this is Guildhall. It's from Ho Kwang from South Korea. Mm-hmm. It is our new release, one of our new releases for the show. The game is a set building card game. Mm-hmm. In it you have 6 different professions in 5 different colors. So for instance, here we have the historian in green. And you have all the 5 colors, and throughout the game you use a community deck that everyone draws from, and you're attempting to build sets of them. So as you play a character into your Guildhall, he'll have an effect. And his effect increases based on the number of his profession that you already have. Okay. So the more farmers you have, the more bonus victory points you get. The more historians you have, the more cards you'll get back from the discard. However, once your set completes, you flip it, it becomes a book, and you can then turn that in for victory points, which are on these cards. Mm-hmm. Right there. Now, for instance, this 9 victory point costs 2, so you have to complete 2 sets to be able to do it. Now, throughout the game, you're going to be using your cards to steal cards from your opponent, swap cards with your opponent, add more to yours, go through the discard and get cards back, draw more cards, etc. Ultimately, you can only have 1 of any card in your Guildhall. So if I already have a blue farmer, I can't play another blue farmer for his effect. Right. An opponent also cannot give me a blue farmer if I have one. If he attempts to swap cards with me, he can't swap a blue farmer into me in order to grab one of my other cards. So it actually puts some limitations on the opponent's strategy as well and what they can pull off. It's a 2 to 4 player game. Plays, once everybody knows the abilities, it plays very, very quickly, maybe about 20 to 30 minutes a game. All of the cards are pretty much text-free except for their title. We've done everything in symbols. Mm-hmm. So for instance, the look through the discard and put a card in your hand is literally an eye, the discard symbol, which is a grave, an arrow, and then a hand. So it's look through the discard and put a card in your hand. But
it's the second language that every gamer learns.
Indeed. It also comes with a punch board of victory point tokens for the farmer, and it comes with its rule book both in German and English. So that is Guildhall.
And this was a surprise title in the sense that you released very limited information before Spiel. Mm-hmm. So what was the initial incentive for that, and how's it played out?
Well, we've seen in the past that there's often been 1 or 2 games that sort of fly under the radar. There's very little talk about them, and suddenly they blow up. And so we thought, we've gotten this game done very quickly. We didn't have a whole lot of time for pre-marketing. We only had a little bit. So we thought, all right, let's just test those waters and see what happens. So we did the whole thing. We did the thing via our Facebook. We talked about it on Board Game Geek. You included it in the news. Thank you very much. And, we attempted to tease in as many ways as we could. But then ultimately we got here and customs held up the game. So surprise, our secret release is really secret. And so we ended up losing a day on Thursday, and we were having to make up ground. But since we got it in on Friday around lunchtime and started demoing the game, it's been a steady seller for us. So word seems to be getting out there, not as a big splash as we were hoping it would be the first day, just due to circumstance. But it's actually doing well. Given that it lost today, the sales have actually been really strong, and we're quite happy with it.
And I suppose it's not a promotional tool you can use for all the time.
No. Definitely not something you can do all the time. I think it's something you can do for fun, with the game, and we're going to do its full, market push and solicitation and all that once we get back, like a normal release would be, because it's actually in stores mid-November to early December, so we'll have time to do the normal, promotions and stuff on Board Game Geek and all the other.
Which makes sense. Retailers don't go for surprise stuff.
Well,
we're going to solicit orders for a black box and, just give us some money.
Throw things in there for you. But we will have it at BGG-Con, so everyone can come there and try the game, buy it. We'll have it in our booth, and that's Guildhall.
All right. Thanks very much for the overview.
Thank you, Eric.